and welcome to On the Patio with Mr. D. Hey, I've gotten a lot of questions lately on how to add an action camera onto the Advanced Elements Airvolution. That's their new drop stitch technology craft. And I've been using it one way, and I'm going to show you that way, but I also came up with another way just the other day that I'm going to share with you today. So, hey, let's get started with this. One of the things as far as mounting a camera onto any kayak is having the ability to continue to paddle. And that's been a challenge. I've kind of overcome that challenge, and what I want to do is share with you a way that gives you two different things. One, you can do selfie work from this particular mod that I'm going to show you today. It's very inexpensive to put together. Maybe not the camera, but the rest of it is. And the other thing is the ease and portability to get this thing out there. So one of the first things that you want to pick up, and I mean, I back this up 100%, do not go with the GorillaPod. GorillaPod has those round balls. They don't flex enough to give you the result, and they're costly, but anyway, give you the result of what I'm going to show you today. But you're going to need a Photopro tripod. Now this is really, really flexible. I mean, you can wrap it around your wrist. You can see here, I mean, it'll do a lot of things, and you'll see how that plays when I mount it on the Airvolution and show you. The next thing you're going to need is a standard quarter 20 to GoPro mount adapter, and you just screw that right on top like this. This is really simple. Then you're going to need an extension arm from either GoPro, and they sell some other ones out there. I like the one that's contoured, and the reason for the contour, it'll contour with the boat when I want to get some creative shots along the side of the craft or something like that. So you want the contour, you see how this bends, you want the contour to be the same as the bend. And insert that and get that screw in. You can see here. Now this thing's coming together. The next thing is something you got to buy off, and I'll put the link in the description. This is a Uniball GoPro mount. It has a steel ball, and this allows you to twist and turn and do all kinds of crazy stuff with your camera, where you can have it mounted up, mounted down, mounted sideways. You can do all really cool stuff with that, and I'm going to show you how that plays again once we get it installed. So to install that, what you want to do is to make sure that your screw-in posts are opposite of each other. Just like that. Now that's in. Now comes the big recommendation in this. Now as you can see, when this is on the boat, this thing is going to wiggle. If you have inexpensive action camera, not one of the name brands or not a GoPro, they don't have what they call hyper smooth and horizon lock. Now only on the Hero 9 Black is horizon lock available. However, hyper smooth is on the Hero 8, and this is what we're going to use today, is the Hero 8 Black, and that's because it has hyper smooth. Otherwise your footage is going to do this. So this is kind of a must. I'd recommend the 9, but if you can get your hands on an 8, go ahead and get it on an 8. All right, so what I do is just mount that into the ball mount. And you can see this is how this is taking shape. Now it's taking shape here, but as you can see, I can move this any way I want to. And then drop this down. I can get angle shots like that. I mean, this is just very, very universal. So you could set up selfie work like that, that kind of thing. So now the next thing is basically nothing more than a safety feature, guys. And just get 2 carabiner clips and a little bit of paracord, okay? What you want to do is once you tie those on, you want to take your carabiner clip and put it right there. And then click it to the seat ring of the Airvolution. And you'll see that when we set it up. And we're going to get over there and let me show you how this thing sets up here in just a minute. All right, guys, before we get over to the craft and show you how this all mounts up, I'm going to show you another way that I use and what camera I use to get hands-free video and audio. Now, you can use the audio on the Hero 8 or Hero 9, and it's not bad, but if you have the media mod, and a media mod is a case that hooks up to your microphone. I have one that goes to the Rode Wireless Go, but the minute you put that media mod on, this camera is no longer waterproof. So if you're doing any creative shots where it's going to break water, your narration should be done with a lapel mic and digital recorder. So before we get into mounting the side mount camera mount system, I want to show you what I currently use and will continue to use along with this new mod for my creative shots and side mounts and stuff like that. I'm going to give you the pros and cons of using this particular system, and there's only one con: I can't reach it because the size of the cockpit in the Airvolution is so far away from me being vertically challenged. I have to scooch way up to reach up and turn the camera off and on. But this is the system I use. My cell phone goes in here. This is a Fujitech FT568 tripod with a per gear screw-on tripod. Now this is great. It goes right in the front of the craft. I'll show you how I hooked it up later. Now the camera that I use is the DJI Pocket 2. This is a 4K 60 frames a second 3-axis gimbal video with built-in Wi-Fi and microphone. This is what you see me use when I'm on the water. I use this thing all the time. It is great. One of the only shortcomings is for me to turn it on and off, I have to reach way up in front of the boat, pull the tripod back a little bit so I can hit this power button on the side. The great thing about this is I can control the camera from my cell phone. I can turn it sideways, up, down, pan, track. I can track people. Like when my sister and I are out together and I want to get some what I call B-roll. She'll paddle by me. I draw a box on the cell phone over the top of her craft, and then this camera will continue to track that wherever she goes. Now, this would also work on the system I'm going to show you today. The only difference is I would just swap out the GoPro Hero 9 or 8 and put in the DJI Osmo Pocket. And I'm actually going to try that on my next video just for giggles. I have problems reaching to the front end of the cockpit because of its size to get to the on-off switch. So using this, I think I can switch these out or put the DJI Pocket 2 up there or leave the 9 or 8 on it and get the shots that I'm kind of get. So what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to go over to the Airvolution and I'm going to show you how to hook both these systems up. They're both simple. This one is getting the bends right, but I'm going to show you that and then all the things you can do. Now, because we got rain coming in today, I'm actually going to put the Airvolution in my pool and I'm going to show you how easily it is to operate this camera. Now, another thing about the GoPro 8 and 9, they're voice activated. And that helps you because a lot of times you can't get to where you want to go. Now, I know that Hero 9 Black will allow me to turn the camera on with a voice command. And it can be away from me and then I can use voice commands and stuff like that. The only difference is I will be using a lapel mic system because I won't be using the media mod if I'm using this system here. With the DJI, it's not waterproof at all. So if it goes in the water, that's $500 down the drain. I've never had a problem with any of my AE kayaks capsizing. I will put also a link in the description on other ways you can mount your cameras to an inflatable kayak, and mostly for the advanced frame models. I will put that link in there, but this one is geared strictly for the Airvolution model. So hey, let's say we get over there and go ahead and hook this up. So okay guys, what we want to do is go ahead and mount this, and you want to set it up to where your paddle stroke is beginning. So first thing you want to do is take the legs right here and curl it like this, and take this one and curl it like that. Okay, now you're going to readjust these, but you want to put it right underneath the lip, as you can see here. Push forward. You want to adjust these to where they get in there, pretty nice rounded edge like this. as you can see here. And you can see it's pretty strong, but I'm not where I want it yet, so I'm going to take the front and bend it a little bit, putting pressure on the side of the hull. Now take the other end of the cabina clip, hook it into your seat D-ring up here, and you can see this is solid right now. It's not going anywhere. Now I'm going to show you how I have the front bent over, and this gives you the stability that you want to hold this thing in place. Now we're going to get into some adjustment processes, okay? Now when you're in your craft, guys, you have to make sure that it's not in your paddle stroke zone. So this one is just a hair, so I'm going to push it down just a little bit. To loosen the adjustment here on the Photopro, you loosen that knob just a little bit, and that'll allow you to set your angles, and we can actually, we are actually recording right now. I'm going to show you some of the footage that's being done, but you can see everything is out of my way, and that's really cool. I can paddle here, it's not going to get in the way, and I can reach it. Now if I want to get some creative shots, I would leave it where it is, loosen this nut right here, give it some change, okay, then contour it down, loosen the ball mount, set your camera up. You can see what I'm doing here, and now I can get shots of the side of the boat, over here onto the side, and all you do is tighten that little thumb screw up here and here, and we're still recording. Well, you can see it's down here, but you can move this thing out like this, bring it in, bring it up like this, have it like that. And you can see really how easy this is to do. This is that mount system here. This is also the one I'm going to incorporate with the Pocket 2. Now I'm leaving the audio on this particular one here so I can give you guys an idea of what the audio is like if you're doing some selfie work. Let me get that adjusted where I want it, tighten that down a little bit, and there. I'd be doing selfie work right here, and you can see it wiggle. Now that's my only concern, but with horizon lock or hyper smooth, you shouldn't have a problem with that at all. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the other way that I hook up the Pocket 2, and I'm going to show you how that hooks up right now. So hey, we'll be back in a bit. Alright guys, what we're going to do now is talk about the Pocket 2 mount system that I use. Simply a bungee cord. I hook it into the forward D-ring here. And the cool thing is I do this before I launch. Because of the size of the cockpit, I don't have to set this up on water. What I do is set it up like that. Then 2 wraps. Hook it to the other D-ring. And it's in place. Alright. So when I'm on the water, I put the cell phone in here. Now a lot of times I keep it in my lap because I can't reach it. Alright guys, you can see here I have a cell phone mount and the DJI Pocket 2. You reach up forward here, you can see it just turned on. Then I go to the cell phone, I'm going to launch the app. Then I go to the DJI Mimo app, as you can see here. I'm going to hit connect, and there you go. Now it's set up, it has its own wireless mic system. Alright, so when you're in the boat, and I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, I'm going to show you the problem I have as far as reaching it here. Because this is expandable, I can lift this and it clears the hull out of the video. As you're in your craft like this, guys, you can see, and this is coming from the Osmo. Let me turn this one on. Now I've got this mount system hooked up. I've got the Osmo Pocket 2 hooked up. But you can see here, now the problem is, you can see I have a hard time reaching it. So what I do in the water is I take the cell phone off, and the great thing about this is I can turn it around, and you can see here, I can get the video that I want. I can recenter it. Okay, I can bring it back around, as you can see here. And the great thing is I can control the play, left, right, up, down, off the camera itself. This is the one I use 99% of the time while I'm on the water. I'm trying this one here to get me some different kind of cool shots, and because when I go to shut this off, let me give you an idea, I have to go up in my kayak, I'm up here, hit the button, and now it's shut off, and then I have to scooch back. With this system here, it's within arm range. I mean, I don't have any, I can operate this right here. I can do fancy shots if I want to. I'm gonna sit here and I wanna reduce the height here, and I wanna drop this down using the ball joint. You can see it right there. Okay, then I wanna contour it down, go a little bit more this way, get in front of that leg. You can see the shots you could get from the side of your craft. It's really outstanding. So I'm using the audio off the GoPro Hero 8. I'm actually in my kayak right now, and I'm testing where this stand should be placed. And I've got it where it should be placed now. As you can see, this is the view you're going to be. Now I'm in super view on the GoPro Hero 8, and I'm checking out to see the stability of this thing. Actually, it's very stable. I'm not worried because of the lanyard I've got connected to it, so that's really cool. And what I'm going to do now is turn on my DJI so I can show you what's going on with this camera. So hey, I'll be back in a second. All right guys, you can see I am in the kayak, in the pool, because we got rain coming in today. Kind of sucks. Now I'm actually recording two ways on the GoPro Hero 8 on the mod that I've showed you today, and also the audio and everything that's coming off the DJI Pocket 2. Now what I'm going to do is bring the Pocket 2, wrong way. I want to show you the hookup I've got right here. Now you're watching me on this camera. I'm going to switch up to the GoPro, and you can see as I'm going to switch and change direction of the camera mount. So as I'm doing that, you can watch me do that. All I'm going to do is take this, I'm going to push it down, turn it this way, and there's my creative shots. You can see I get right alongside the craft. I can get out to the side like this. I can pretty much do anything I want. Now what I wanted was, when I'm going through some really heavy wake or something like that, I want to be able to capture that particular shot. And right here is, I mean, I've got that, and I can move this around, anything I want to do, and then bring it back up and get front shots like this, and continue my paddle. And then you're going. Now it is going to move a little bit, but it's solid. It's not going to fall off. As you can see here in this photo off the Pocket 2. This is the system I come up with. It's really simple. You can easily adjust it by sliding it this way. But again, paddle stroke is going to be in the way. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So you can't get there. It's going to be right in the way. So you want to push it out a little bit and get it to where it clears. And as you can see, it does. So let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. Okay guys, we are going to wrap this episode up. I really hope this helped you figuring out a way to mount a GoPro on your Advanced Elements Airvolution. Now, this will work out really, really cool. The only thing that you're going to have is, and I strongly recommend the GoPro Hero 9 Black. Now, that's a little bit of a pricey camera. You can pick up for about $400, okay? But it has horizon lock, it has super view, it has voice activation, same as the 8, but the 8 doesn't have horizon lock. And then with this thing moving around, it's going to cause your picture to do this if you're using a GoPro 3, 4, 5, or 7. They don't have hyper smooth in them at all. They have some kind of a shaky hand thingy, but it's horrible. The 8 came out with the hyper smooth, then the 9 really came out with hyper smooth 3.0 and horizon lock, which really is excellent. You've seen a lot of my videos where I'm shooting with the GoPro Hero 9, and that's the vlog camera stuff, where you can see the horizon stay flat. Okay. Now in the kayak, I gotta be honest with you guys, I use the DJI Pocket 2 camera because it's a 3-axis gimbal. It shoots 4K at 60. I'm able to track the subjects, which something GoPro has not been able to do yet. Maybe in the GoPro 10, I'm hearing rumors that the 10 is going to come out. If they put a tracking feature in that into their touchscreen, very similar to what the DJI Pocket 2 has, where I can draw a box over the subject, and wherever that subject goes, the camera will follow it. Now, I can understand that on a gimbal. I don't see how they could do that on a stationary GoPro, so I don't know. I just don't know. But the camera I use 99% of the time is the DJI Pocket 2. You saw how I hooked it up. Simple bungee cord, the Fujitec 568, and the screw-on aluminum tripod. But if you don't want to do that, you could use this system right here and put the Pocket 2 in place of the GoPro, and you would have the same result I get from the front of the boat, which is what I'm thinking about changing over to, is this here, because I have more access to it. I don't have to reach so far forward. But I want to see the stability, how it hooks up. But the lanyard is a must, and the reason I'm using a GoPro on this particular mount, because this is waterproof, where the Osmo Pocket 2 is not. So anyway, rundown, recap, 2 carabiner clips, a little piece of paracord. I strongly recommend that you get the Photopro UFO 2 flexible tripod. Do not get the Gorilla Pro, because it won't bend enough and you're going to pop those balls out of socket. It's a real mess. I ended up throwing mine away. Then you just need a 1/4 screw-on external GoPro mount, an arm. Now you don't need the arm. You could do a baseline and it would stabilize your shots. But if you want to get some creative shots off the boat, like I was showing you there, where I can just loosen the ball and set that camera anywhere I want to off the side of the craft, you can see the result you can get by doing that like this. And that's, I mean, I'd be sitting way up there, and this would be down here on the water line or even below the water line. Okay? Now, if you do the legs and position the legs right, it's not going to move. It's going to, you know, hold pressure against itself, and then curling the legs under the front end of the cockpit of the Airvolution is going to hold that thing in place. The stainless steel ball GoPro mount, again, I'll put in the link, is an absolute must for this particular modification, because it allows you to move that thing around. You know, there's a lot of other things out there that's just stationary, so you're only going to have one option. Here, you can be in your boat, arm's length, and spin your shots around and get anything you want. The reason I use the Pocket 2 is because I just touch a button and the camera will spin around. But this will give you the same result, but just not as fast. Okay? I hope this answers your question, guys. This is a really cool way to attach your GoPro to the side of your Airvolution within reach. You can operate it within reach. Again, make sure it is forward of your paddle stroke. But the drawback here now is when you're doing some camera work like this, that's why the extension, if you're setting it up here doing selfie work, it's going to pick up your paddle in the lens. Okay, but that's not a bad thing. You see that on all my videos. As I'm talking, I'm paddling, and the paddle's just doing its thing when I'm doing my videos using the DJI Pocket 2. But I hope this answers your question, guys, and hey, we'll see you on the next one.